Hi guys, so welcome back to my YouTube. Wanted to get on here today to give you an update of where I'm at in prep and sort of how things have gone post show last year and what I'm working towards this year as well. So I do have my phone here as a reminder just to make sure I want to cover all the points that I really want to get across so you are up to speed with exactly what's been going on. So I finished last year on stage. I stepped on stage on show day 115.8 kg. I've had 15 weeks during the off-season period, and during that time, I've managed to put on, well, my body weight went up to the peak weight of 129 kg. So a very, very short off-season, but a really productive one. And I think the big difference for me during this off-season, what's really allowed me to progress my physique, is the fact that my training split had went from 4 days a week to 5 days a week. My training split has been a pull session and then followed by a push session and then legs, rest, and then I also had a upper session and also a lower session. So the additional session came from having an upper session. That's really extra volume what I needed to really balance out my physique, especially with everything what's been going on with my shoulder. And I'm really surprised myself at how much this last off season, I would say it's been my best one because it's allowed me to train at a much higher level and intensity that I've been able to not been able to do for I'll say probably 2 or 3 years now. And the progress what has been made is not by coincidence. The program what's sort of been mapped out by Kuba has definitely helped me to take a step forwards. But I have to be totally honest, this short off season has been one of the most challenging for me in the sense of for anyone who goes through a show and handles post show really accurately in terms of really being patient with pushing up body weight will know the feeling of hunger. And for me, not trying to say that hunger is not going to be there, but hunger has been through the roof. So it wasn't until maybe the last 2 weeks of me sort of finishing my short off season period that my hunger started to settle down. So I knew I was already going into prep feeling really hungry. But this is the difference now from where I was previous years. When I look back on how I sort of handled post shows before, I was never in this sort of mindset of being so controlled with food. And that's not to say that I was going out and binging on food. It was more so I was a little bit more relaxed in my approach where this off season it's been very to the point and very focused on I've only got 15 weeks to progress my physique. So I've got to make sure everything is on point, and that goes for food, that goes for training, rest and recovery, and just keeping my mindset in a very strong place. And for me last year, placing fourth in a lineup of over 20 athletes was a great testament for me because I didn't expect to be able to compete again. And being able to compete again, it gave me the platform to build on, which I wanted to take into my off season to come back this year and be better than what I was. Like fourth was good, and it's nice to get that return. But ultimately, I want that first place trophy and I want to qualify for the Olympia. Behind me here is Kerry's sort of award from when she won her pro show, and I'm so happy that she's got that. And I want to be there not only to support her, but also to be stepping on stage, that Olympia stage for myself as well. And that can only come through dedication and actually going to a place that I've never been before, and that is the off-season period, treating it exactly how I would a prep, and that's not taken away from anything I've done previously, but it's been hard and it's been challenging. But the reward of what I want to achieve is worth it, and I've been through worse and bigger challenges with my shoulder. So that's just a bit of an update on sort of how the off seasons went. And like I say, it's been the most productive, and now it's transitioned into prep. So this is actually my 6 week of prep, so I'm a little bit behind with getting this update out. But I just want to give you a sort of insight, sort of how my body weight has sort of been trending over these 6 weeks. So just looking at my timeline from my sheet. So week one, my average body weight was 127.2 kg. And so far this week, so 5.5 weeks in, I'm at 123.9 kg. So average weight loss of 0.6 kg. So things are moving well. I've got 20 weeks in total. So that's more than enough time for me to get down to where I need to be in condition. And what's so good at this point is my start position has never been this lean. So because it's never been this lean, the process, what's been mapped out, allows me to have moments where I can push and pull. So into a deep deficit, then we can have a maintenance, higher food days when it's needed, just to make sure the body stays responsive, because a body what's relaxed is going to be a lot more responsive, but it's also going to make the fat loss process a lot smoother as well. And for me, I want to step on stage the biggest I've ever been, but the most conditioned as well. And this is where the off-season transition into prep now has set me up perfectly for that. So I'm really, really excited for what's going to happen over the coming weeks. I've actually had a massive shift in body weight the last 2 days. So a few days ago, I actually felt the initial prep feels, when you start to feel pretty tired, a bit lethargic, but it's going to come with the territory, start to feel a little bit flat in my physique. And the last 2 days, I've actually dropped 1 kg in total. So the first day it was 0.4 kg, and the second day was actually 0.6 kg. So today I've had an extra 80 grams of carbs added to 2 of my meals. So post workout, my last meal of the day, which is welcomed, but I didn't expect it. But this is where managing me and managing my sort of performance in a training capacity, but also making sure I don't run too flat, keeping the body fresh, it's going to help me to be responsive. So very, very confident in Kuba that he's going to deliver the best physique for myself on stage. I'm really, really excited. I think what's so good now is my mobility in my shoulder is far better than where it's been before. And I know from previous experience from the last prep, as I diet down, my mobility improves further. So I'm keeping on top of my therapy for what I do with my shoulder. Kerry helps me a lot with that, but that's for another video. But just to let you know that things are in the best position it's ever been for me. And with that gives me extra confidence. And with that gives me extra focus and drive to actually deliver my best physique today. So you're probably wondering which show I'm going to go for. My plan is to qualify for this year's Olympia. I'm under no illusions that it's going to be a hard task, because everyone competing wants to get that first place. And I'm no different. So I'm putting everything into this. So my first show is set for September the 7th in Italy. It's the Pro Muscle Italy show in Milan. And I can't wait to actually get on stage, present my best, but also get on stage knowing that I'm in the best possible position physically and mentally to really showcase my physique to the fullest. And I'm so excited for this year. I can't really express or put into words the gratitude that I've got for this prep. I know that prep will get hard, but I'm leaning on the fact that I've been through so much worse over the past 2 years with my shoulder, and I'm grateful for this opportunity more than ever to be sitting here right now and going through this feeling of prep, because over the last few years has been very, very challenging, not knowing if I would have this opportunity. So I'm not going to sit here and moan when prep gets hard, or I'm hungry, or I'm tired, because it will happen and it's part of prep and this is what I sign up for. But I'm more looking forward to the fact that I'm going to step on stage. This isn't going to be a short prep on the back of being told I can't compete again. This is mapped out, this is planned out, and I'm ready to deliver the very best version of me. This isn't coming from a place of arrogance, because I'm not that person, but more so of excitement, because I want this so bad. I want it more than I've ever had something in terms of a sporting capacity before. The last time I won a show was when I was turning pro in 2018, and I've gone through a few competition seasons as a pro. My best placing was second. It was nice to get that placing, but it's not what I want. And I'm going to be that last man standing. And the first show is Italy. And I'm confident to say that that will be my best physique ever delivered on stage. So stay tuned, stay locked in for the updates, because there will be regular. I'm not going to fall off. I'm going to be here So stay tuned for what's going to be unfolding. And like I said, I'm just locked into this process more than ever, because this year it's got to be the year. It's literally all in. So I'm going to stop talking. Thank you so much for watching this. As always, like, share, subscribe, and I appreciate you all for your support. I'm out.